Welcome back, guys, to Metaphor ReFantazio, where last episode, with Luis having fallen dead onto the Opera House's stage, the Sanctus claimed Draco Dios as Stroll stepped forward to appeal to the crowd on our behalf, managing to retain our level of support as loyalists before smoothing things over with the brothers who now had no master. But on returning to our room, we learned that the curse had not been dispelled. Waking the next day to the start of the Saints' Day festival, Forden tried to wrap up the tournament for the throne, leading us to have to interject, knowing that he had most likely been behind the prince's curse all along. But it wasn't us that took it to the Sanctifex, as Luis appeared alive thanks to the also living Zorba, and using the king's magic and a switcheroo with Draco Dios, killed Forden where he stood, before turning on us, having figured out that our actions meant the prince still lives. In trying to extract his location, Luis turned his wrath onto the crowd, leading to Basilio and Fidelio choosing to block the attack, as the elder brother made a selfless decision to save the younger, losing his life, with their former lord making his retreat afterwards, as we now do the same.
Oh, welcome back. It went about as well as could be expected. We wanted something nicer for his grave, but they told us something like that's reserved for Sanctus tradition.
You can expect little else in Altabury. I apologize for not being present.
We've just gotten ourselves out of the public eye. If we had gone as a group, worst case, we'd have been turned in.
I wish we could have mourned him at his home. It had to happen in the lap of the Sanctus Church of all places. I hear the Parapists typically prefer a more joyful send-off, with singing and celebration.
It's all right. Us soldier kids could never afford to be too picky. Telling you he couldn't choose where to snuff it. The fact that you were there, Lady Juna, that's enough for us.
Basilio.
Best to leave him be for a while. He's just lost the only family he had.
By the way, have you checked the Farsight mirror? The curse might be...
Unfortunately, it still hasn't lifted. Guess that means it was someone other than Forden after all.
But Forden brazenly admitted that he had been the mastermind. Luis was innocent of that crime, at least.
Someone must have cast it at Forden's command. Unless we can find and kill them in time. Damn it all!
We've more pressing problems at hand, don't we? Now Luis knows the prince is alive. Surely that's far from ideal.
The village is deep in the forest. It's not an easy place to find, even if you're looking. Going to the prince's side could be dangerous, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But even if we sought the real culprit, we no longer have any leads to follow. If I might make a suggestion, perhaps we should visit my sister again. She may have some insight on the Sanctus Church's past, but that's tomorrow's concern. As for tonight, we could all use some time to rest our hearts and minds.
Oh, look at you, kid. You look near dead yourself.
Tell? What?
Seems you made it out in one piece, though.
Are you alive? But back there, you... Don't tell me you pulled some bloody trick. Just like Luis. Bloody hell, Tell. I thought I...
Basilio, sorry. From here on, you're taking the lead.
But why? I can't without you. Tell, I only made it this far because I followed you.
Don't give me that. You're the strong one. Me, I never knew where I was going. Basilio, protect the weak. Swear you'll do it, not for me, but for yourself. If you can do that, I'll always be with you.
Tell...
Don't give me that look. Well, this one's goodbye for now. You ready? Let's hear it, Basilio. You fight. But why?
Oh, Lodestar. Ye grief-racked brother, O thou anguished traveler. Thy long stagnant stance hath finally been broken. Now choose thy path.
Not really a choice. It's back to the starting line. This time I'll lead. Ardell entrusted me with this chance. I've got to show him I've got this.
Thank you. Thou hast chosen a noble parting. O Lodestar, whose light reveals the king's own path. Henceforth, thy fears and insecurities are thy light. Awaken.
See you around, Dell.
Thank goodness! You're finally awake! You were passed out! Don't scare me like that! Not that I can blame you. After all that's happened. Sir Basilio, there's magla flowing through him. I think it's the same as our power.
It's you lot, from before.
They want to pay their respects for Fidelio.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Ardell. Funny, innit? Maybe this world's not so bad. Thanks.
Probably one of the best scenes in video games. To be totally truthful with you, through all that going on, Basilio is our new ally. The badass bruiser carrying his brother's honor has become our ally indeed.
By God, what in the world is that, lads? It struck down Santifex Forden right before our eyes. That's supposed to be impossible.
And Luis made sure it was a bloody spectacle, before an audience even. The bastard is making sport of it.
We must devise a plan. Otherwise, even if Luis does not sway our supporters, they may lose faith in the church.
Before all else, we must choose a successor. But they need not share Forden's strength.
I have brought her here.
You requested an audience? Assembled lords?
Rella, we must ask your support. Let me be direct. We would like you to enter the tournament as a formal successor to His Eminence Sanctifex Forden.
This girl? She is your plan?
Have you gone mad? I reject this proposal. If anyone is to succeed His Eminence, it should be me, as his trusted right hand.
See sense. Strength alone means nothing. And without that, you have nothing worthy of the people's loyalty.
Rella, will you not speak? Surely you feel what they ask of you is beyond your station.
Well, that is...
You are wise beyond your years, Rella. Surely you understand. What the lost children need now is not a righteous avenger, but a refuge from their fears. The people would flock to a saint who dwells among her people. Already many would rejoice to see you rule as queen. Rella, will you answer their call?
This is all rather sudden.
Of course, you would have our full support. Naturally, we will make arrangements so that the tournament's next round turns in your favor.
Even so, I am unfit to be queen.
Allow me to clarify. This is not exactly a request. Would you rather have that tyrant Luis become king?
Well...
Hey, sounds like we've got big news. I just heard from the pack of Sanctists. I figured they'd shove someone up to take Forden's place. But where it is, it'll be Saint Rella. Gonna be an announcement tomorrow.
The mourning for Forden's barely started, and they're already lining up his successor. And Rella, at that. Going for popularity over power, it seems.
They're getting careless. Though, thinking about it, maybe it's a smarter choice than it seems.
But, say Saint Rella wins against Luis, becomes proper queen and all gets to do what she wants. Doesn't that tidy this whole thing right up?
No! This can't be her own decision. Just the idea of being queen would put her stomach in knots.
The politicians must be trying to make her their puppet. Perhaps it was an order she could not refuse.
This isn't good. Probably not the best time to talk to her either.
But that's got to mean they're keeping the tournament going, right? Then they'll probably announce the next challenge once Rella's candidacy goes public.
Either way, I don't like it. This is all escalating too fast for my tastes. All the support Forden had campaigned for will likely just go straight to Rella with hardly a dent. If Luis and the Sanctist Church are trying to reclaim the status quo as the two pillars of government, that'll be a tough lead to shake. After all, just lifting the curse isn't going to be enough to restore the prince to the throne.
Indeed. Luis versus Rella. Frontrunner and runner-up, with no ties to the royal family between them. Everyone will see plain that popularity's eclipsed royal right. His Highness himself will have to win this battle on the faith of the people, or his claim to the crown will never be acknowledged.
Besides which, Luis now knows that His Highness lives. His whereabouts have not been discovered, but the Kingslayer will take up the hunt.
So many obstacles. What do we do?
We have to keep trying to break the curse, but we also need to get people to support the prince's claim to the throne. Ugh. To move forward, we need to buy time.
Well, I know one way to keep a VIP protected. A classic tactic, really. The military does it all the time. We use a body double. You're supposed to be a dead ringer for the prince, yeah?
You mean he pretends to be the prince? That's absurd. You realize it's a capital offense to impersonate royalty.
Is it? Yeah, well, you know, as long as they don't find you out, we haven't broken any rules, right? I guess it's better to ask forgiveness than ask permission, yada yada.
I don't think it's a bad idea, though.
Do you not get how dangerous this is?
Adzel was right about you being mental. I think we could pull it off, though. The prince has been gone ages. Nobody's in a position to point out differences.
Wait, just think about this. He's elder. The royal family's Clamar and have been for generations. His appearance would be the least of our worries.
If I may. His Highness the Prince lacks the Clamar horns. Some rumors suggested 'twas not some miraculous feature of the prince alone, but a mark of elden blood. I've heard no confirmation either way myself, but at the very least, 'tis a tale any aristocrat is bound to have heard in passing.
In other words, with an elder claiming the prince's name and a known royal knight to vouchsafe him, we'd have enough plausibility to shake the nobles to their core.
Of course, all this means little. unless our double himself is willing. What say you?
I am the prince.
I am the prince. Was that believable?
Even this doesn't get to you? Sometimes I worry about you.
Your resolve has been challenged many times over, and never have you strayed. I am humbled once more. I pledge my sword to this gambit.
Good. Then we declare ourselves tomorrow, where this announcement's going to take place. Seems like the optimal place to make sure we're heard.
Right then. Looks like I'll have to give the old girl a polish worthy of a prince. My cue as well. From here on, it's nose to the grindstone until my magnum opus is finished. Can't let the lad be the only one with his life on the line.
Can we talk?
We have no clue what might happen in a situation like this, so once we're done with our preparations in the city, let's focus on tomorrow. Remember, the monks have their eyes on us. Let's keep our shopping to the Blue Sky Bridge area and return to the runner at night. Okay, prepare and return to the Gauntlet Runner. I don't think there's really any preparation for me to do. On Basilio and Fidelio. Oh, should we read all of their stuff? I feel like we should. Man, Fidelio. Looking out for the little bro. No matter what. I was amazed you could get so many rasping breaths for breathing when it didn't look like he had any lungs left. But don't let some missing lungs plus extra holes plus blood filling everywhere ruin a good scene. Which it wasn't really a redonkulously good scene. They let a lot of that breathe. And then they kept hitting you with like little punch. Like they didn't have to bring those people in at the end either. In a lot of games they wouldn't, but just then there's another punch. The whole awakening being the whole farewell for him as well. Having a little bit of a talk in a little mindscape thing. But it makes kind of weird sense that they would be able to do that within that scenario. It really does. Like its own weird magical logic. I don't know. Zorba being around, it was just like, okay then, it's not thingy, so it's gotta be like something like you. Okay, you've got a Scottish voice. It's probably Zorba then. Oh look, he's back and he's meaner than ever. And, well, gotta have like a great grasp. If you've got like an amazing grasp of dark magic, right, you can deal with light magic like repairing things as well. Don't know where we've heard a quote like that in the past. But still, it's kind of bonkers what's been going on. Was he at least dead for a little bit? Or was he never dead? That's the real question here. Like, can we absolutely, completely rule him out of the curse? Yes, because of the other confessions that have been going on, to be honest, as well. But hello. I think we're really driving to the point now. Oh look, the people have been removed from emo only mode as well. They've been freed. It's weird because of course like voice acting wise it's really good. But like voice just for like singular lines alone, the on strolls ones like really memorable, but the overall everything leading into that awakening for Basilio is bonkers good. It just took the time to let it happen. It didn't try to rush it. It wanted emotion to seep in, and I was struggling. I was like, I cannot. I have cried in video games before, but I try to avoid to because no one wants to be going on with a cutscene going on in the background and hear a blubbing man. But I was really struggling through that. Yikes. We haven't even checked out their archetype yet. I guess we can do it in just a second, but let's read these first of all. Basilio Magnus, a high-ranking member of Luis's faction and one of his closest aides, trusts his older brother Fidelio absolutely. The brawn half of the Magnus brothers' partnership, he's known as a nearly unstoppable bruiser on the battlefield when paired with his brother, who was the magical shield, I guess. He fully trusts Fidelio's cautious choices, but conversely, Basilio has good instincts that his brother does not share. His decisiveness, deriving from those instincts, has saved the day on multiple occasions, though he loses his temper more easily than his older brother. Wearing his passion on his sleeve often reveals how deeply he cares. That seemed to be the point, doesn't it? Oh no, where's he gone? I've lost our poor I've definitely lost Fidelio. We gained the obviously nice one and fun one, but we also lost the one that was a bit more complex. And for that, I really enjoyed his character. Fidelio Magnus, a high-ranking member of Luis's faction and one of his closest aides. He and his younger brother Basilio are known as the Magnus brothers and are highly respected by lesser members of the faction. Has been a trusted aide of Luis's since Luis's time in the army. Long before the incident at the royal funeral, his being a parapus in a high-ranking position naturally attracted criticism, but he's largely silenced those critics via his many military achievements. A wary man, unusually calm and wise among his parapus tribe, however, he places little value on his own life, and despite his caution, he would readily choose to sacrifice himself for the sake of the big picture. And he did. Alright, I guess we should check out the archetype that we've just unlocked next. Which then, of course, leads us to try and figure out how we can get the bond. But now everyone's level is kind of falling behind as well, if you know what I mean. Like, we've been a little bit ahead of the trend for most people we've been getting. So supposedly around this time, we should probably be around level 46. But we are somehow at level 50 already. And I haven't really done grinding for experience. Oh, no, wait a second. I did like grinding for like 1 level's worth, didn't I? Yeah, that's true. In between a session one time. That's about it. Well, you know, grinding for experience and like it's grinding for money that gives extra experience, doesn't it? When we run back down, like for example, a spire or two, and I guess fighting everything in our path is also giving us a bit more than we want. The Berserker can greatly increase its own attack power. Wow, he starts it at rank 5. Wow, game, you're giving us such catch up there. Can greatly increase its own attack power and overwhelm enemies with very powerful strike attacks. And a slam strike. Okay, deals medium physical strike damage to one enemy. That's an interesting thing, so fitting our martial arts line as well in a sense. And charge. Greatly increases cast physical attack damage once per battle. You also can get Slam Shatter, deals medium physical strike damage to all enemies. A Sense of Kinship, which decreases attack by 10% and increases it further if archetypes the same lineage are present. Warcry, which decreases attack defense for all enemies for 3 turns. Okay, straight up debuff on an attacking class sounds actually quite fun to me. And Frenzy, deals heavy physical strike damage to all enemies 1 to 3 times. I guess the blade on that axe isn't very bladey. Magic is a walloping 7. But the strength stat seems pretty good. Also resistant to all melee abilities, but weak to light and darkness. It also has other, like, of course, the synthesis abilities here. Rampage Slash deals extreme physical slash damage to one enemy, ignores resistances. Cool. Wild Boar deals extreme physical pierce damage to one enemy, significantly decreases their attack for 3 turns. Pretty cool as well. Gunner, Faker, or Summoner. Oh, we got that. Yeah, yeah. Wanton Destruction deals extreme physical strike damage to one enemy, inflicts a one-time weakness to strike. And Battle Cry Tackle deals heavy physical strike damage to all enemies 1 to 3 times, ignores resistances. Most of this stuff is either ignoring resistances or giving us a weakness, which is pretty cool. The real question is now I've got to have all 3 of these guys in and no one's getting extra experience so we can put them in the back line. You know what I mean? That's a bit of an issue for me. It's got another line that requires him to be Berserker rank 20 and, of course, rank 6 for Basilio. We haven't formed a bond yet, so we can't see what the future stuff will be. But I guess we'll get to work on things in time. So the highest on my things are Heisme and Will, who both have 35% mastery. Let's get chatting around everywhere.
In truth.
Before Basilio awakened his power, I felt the flow of another person's magla. I'm sure of it. This magla was gentle and warm. It enveloped Basilio, then it seemed to merge with him. Indeed. Nice. Always knew you were a gutsy one, but I think you had it in you to claim yourself as the prince. Bravo, old chap. You know, this gauntlet runner was originally commissioned for His Highness's exclusive use. I'll do what I can to make it one worthy of him. Are you going to gold plate it all of a sudden? To masquerade as His Highness the Prince, it seems insolent to claim his identity, and yet... I cannot put my finger on why, but I approve of the suggestion, though not without reservation. As the Prince's royal guard, you shall have my protection. Fidelio, you seem like Luis's right-hand man, but he had a good head on his shoulders. Makes me think, we'd met under other circumstances. Perhaps we'd have shared a drink together. First Eupha awakens to her power, and now Basilio too. Surprising, yet at the same time it's not. We all seem to be guided by your star.
What now?
What now is I teach you something so that you can get at least one skill worth of inheritance, but then so that I can switch you back to it, and in the switching you back to it, what I'll actually gain by doing that, or at least is the plan, is it will automatically choose your gear for me. But I have to work out which one I want you to learn first. Like, what skill would I like you to get as an extra? Weirdly enough, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking gold attack. It's not exactly expensive to learn it after all.
This right here, all right? I'm counting on you. Of course.
Let's just freak out Basilio. What's going on?
I'll do it.
The merchant archetype. Guess every battle needs funds and items, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to study up on some economics.
I learned a new ability.
Good luck with that one. Alright, we can switch you to that, or we can switch you straight back as well. So you have 208. To be honest, it'd probably be good to have you on this archetype for a time being, weirdly. But it works either way, I guess. Claw Breaker's on. That sorts out a little bit of the stuff. Flying Anchor Axe. Basilio's axe from his military days, scratching from a ship's anchor. He's got the strength +5 and the resist slash damage, which is kind of useless to him, but he's putting on the... He's basically putting on the strength plus, isn't he? Reduces damage from being hit by a weakness. Well, I'd have preferred the light and thingy one, but I guess I can't put that on. Not on your class. Oh no, resist light damage is there. Endurance 6 goes to someone who has a weakness to light damage currently. I don't know if you actually necessarily need that. I mean, covering one of his weaknesses seems like the cleverest thing to do. I wouldn't say that's amazing, just for the strength that he's getting. Preventing something else seems a bit better. Let's go to Twin Thread Charm. We'll be able to switch that up. What's Hulkenberg wearing now? The frontline wrap instead. Oh, you were Dark Knight, so you were... No, you weren't even resist. It's just lightning that's the issue. Lightning is your only issue. Go to Coral Mail, but the frontline rat probably is a little bit better. Too bad the Storm Blout doesn't help you against lightning. Yeah, we'll go with that. Seems fine by me. You wield lightning and do the other thing. Right, so what are we going to give you? Handmade flute. Oh! Ah! I almost feel like I should give that to Basilio. Given by Fidelio, after all. Just for what it means. We'll go on to rarity instead. Large HP recovery every turn the battle, prevents physical stats elements, is already on someone. While the front row increases attack, could be pretty good. We just recently got that after all. Yeah, let's put on that one. And then I guess we go to the shop to find out.
All right.
If I can buy you a new weapon.
Right. Got it.
Now I'm a candidate? No, now I'm the prince. All that information given about the prince as well, right? Then it's like, yes,
What's
sure.
This?
Can't say I'm feeling as powerful as you lot look, but whatever I've got, I know for sure it was Del who gave it to me. Nothing easy about it, but I know that if I'm going to be throwing around this power as your ally, I can't afford to mope. I'm not going to waste this power Del gave me. The fact that he's instantly set himself to the task as well. Knowing that in the end, task will probably bring revenge. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be more than one motive here.
All right then.
Yeah, so we can see that some areas are grayed out for me. The streets are grayed out. And we can basically only walk the places that had shops. Or can we go to everywhere? Can't walk the places high up.
Go.
Well, there's going to be a lot of people who want to speak about things around here, aren't they? What bloody hell was that? We came to visit for Saints' Day, not to see fire and brimstone. What will become of us now? With the church gone, who are we to pray to?
What's happened?
You brought this scourge upon us by coming here. This is why I detest elders and pagans.
Awfully chilly.
It looks like a thingy. Saints' Day ended on a rather blood-curdling note, didn't it? Perhaps the lone saving grace is that Lady Rella is still on our side. This is a little bit of a cool down before whatever happens next, isn't it?
But that...
The city is in shambles, and His Eminence Forden killed. It can't be. Just who the devil are you? Are you with us or against us? Ah, well, I'd like to say that I'm factionless, but obviously that's a lie. I am my own faction. In my mind's eye, I see the monolith mourning the loss of a great leader. There looks to be a storm on the morrow. Your mind's eye's weird. Who's that person moaning all the time?
Is this it?
I cannot believe it. Sanctifex Forden, slain by Luis. No, it can't be true. But then why has Luis not been struck down for his sin? Surely Sanctifex Forden had nothing to be judged for. Or did he? I guess they can't face the fact that there are things outside their scope. I'm not sure if I'm hearing things or not at the moment. Even the finest knives used to... Oh, you say the same thing. Oh, what's that? Bounties. I would love to check, but I'm kind of busy right now. Come out when things have settled down a bit. I've got a lot of requests. He does, you know. I'm working up to the Judge Stone. Well, I don't know actually if we can actually reach that or not.
Is this it?
Now I think about it, I'm not sure if it's in the next section or the section after the fact.
Sod off.
But I've been told to sod off, so I shall.